Hi everyone, welcome to the Kachina Kitchen. I'm Earl Hamlin, and what a beautiful day we have here in Kingman for some Southwest Cowboy cooking, and it's a warm day, I might add, as well. All right, now today the show is going to be a little different because my guest chef, who is a good friend of mine, Butch Meriwether, he's a journalist and a photojournalist, but also he belongs to Search and Rescue. And with this warm weather, we thought we'd talk a little bit about the outdoors and some snacks that you can take while you're hiking and some of the things that you need to do to be prepared to go on a hike. So we're not going to have a recipe per se. What the recipe is, it's to save your life. So don't go away. We've got a lot of show for you, a lot of information, and we'll be right back after these messages. You're cooking on the Kachina Kitchen. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Kachina Kitchen. This segment is sponsored by the world's, at least Mojave County, best security system in the whole wide world, and that security system is Southwest Alarm. So I know you're valuable. You know you're valuable. We all know how valuable you are, but also you have valuables that you want to protect as well. So protect yourself, protect your valuables, get Southwest Alarm. They're on duty 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. They cover you no matter what you do or where you go. So call Southwest Alarm. 928-753-2333. That's 928-753-2333. Get the best protection in the world. Get Southwest Alarm. All right, I'm here with Butch Meriwether. Hi, Butch. How are you, sir?
Earl, I'm doing fine. How about you?
Thank you very much for being here today.
No problem.
I know how busy you are. You're a journalist. You do a lot of writing for a lot of our local papers and nationally and internationally. And also you're a photojournalist. Tell me a little bit about some of your background.
Well, I spent almost 21 years in the Marine Corps. My last 11 years in the Marine Corps was public relations and journalism.
Oh, good.
I've been the editor of 3 different newspapers, and then I worked briefly for a newspaper after I retired. And then I became a private investigator and did that for 18 and a half years. And while I was in Washington, I also worked as a contractor. When I moved here to Mojave County, I decided to hang up all those hats and retire.
Oh, good. Have you enjoyed retirement?
It's busier than hell.
Okay, now you're with Search and Rescue, and the reason I asked you to be on the show is we're not going to cook per se, but we're going to talk a little bit about when people go on hikes, particularly in the warm weather that we're experiencing right now. So what are some of the things, why don't we tell some of the viewers, what are some of the things that they can do to prepare to go on the hike? Not on the hike, but get ready to go.
Well, first off, they do have to be prepared. They have to plan for the worst and hope for the best. When they're getting ready, they got to make sure their vehicle has all its fuel, everything's mechanically okay, and you carry at least 5 gallons of water for the vehicle.
Just the vehicle itself?
Just for the vehicle. This is one of the best things. What happens if you're about 20 miles out in the middle of nowhere and you spring a leak in your radiator hose?
Duct tape.
Duct tape it, you got water to replace it, because otherwise it's going to overheat and you're not going to make it back.
Okay, let me tell the viewers a real quick story. I had a college professor when I was in school, and he was born and raised in Arizona, okay, in the Yuma area. And him and his wife and their 4 children, I think it were going out just for a little drive out into the desert. They went about 25 miles from home into the desert. Their car broke down. They were there for 3 days. 3 days. They had chocolate bars that didn't last very long because of the warm weather. They had very little water. They had some experience about not leaving the vehicle and all going in different directions or so, but they spent 3 very warm days and very cold nights out in the desert. So it can happen to anybody. I mean, just anybody. And Mojave County Search and Rescue helped find them as well.
Well,
this was several years ago.
Well, I can give you a better example of not being prepared. There was 2 80-year-old folks in a Jeep, and they went out to Mormon Springs. They high-centered their Jeep, and they couldn't get loose. They ended up spending a week down there.
A week?
A week. Luckily, there's water that runs year-round down there, and pomegranate trees. So that's what they lived on until some hikers found them.
Wow.
Another example is one of the missions we went on was up in the Music Mountains. 3 guys in one pickup truck. When the clouds were down about this far from the ground, the transmission went out.
Oh.
They didn't know where they were. they said, well, we're by a water tank. Well, there's a lot of water tanks out there in the Music Mountains. It took us 4.5 hours to find them with a crew of about 10 or 15 people searching.
Okay, now a little later on the show, we're going to tell the viewers how, if they're interested in being on the search and rescue teams, how they can join and everything. So what are some of the things besides the water and the duct tape? What about telling everybody where you're going?
That's right. What you need to do is, no matter where you're going to go and how long you're going to be gone, you need to, one, tell somebody where you're going, when you're leaving, and when you're returning. Because if you don't return when you're supposed to, and then they can notify authorities, and a decision can be made to go out and search for them.
And I have actually had some personal experience with this. I live in kind of a remote area, and I was going to take my dogs out on my ATV and just let them run a little bit. And I flipped over the ATV, okay? And it kind of had a concussion and knocked me kind of cuckoo and stuff. And I had to walk several miles back to where it was. I had no cell phone because I was going to go up there and come right back, and I didn't tell anybody where I was going, and I didn't tell anybody when I was going to return. So I know how it can happen, how easily it can happen. Fortunately, I had some water with me, though. That was one of the saving things.
Well, you're lucky for that, because you can't survive too long without water.
Right. Okay, so what are some of the things that we need to take with us when we go? Now, particularly snacks, because a lot of folks, when they hike, they want to take snacks, and you brought a big old huge bag of snacks.
Well, you don't have to carry them all, but this is just a variety of things that are fairly light and that you can carry, and you should have food for about 24 hours. You got different types of beef jerky.
Beef jerky here. Okay.
And here's turkey jerky.
Turkey.
You got dried pineapple. You have trail mix.
Wow.
Dried cranberries.
What about salty stuff? Are we staying away from kind of salty stuff?
I think so.
Like peanuts and that type of thing?
And here's a couple Nutri-Grain bars, but they're already soft from just being in the bag today. And last is some dried coconut. I mean, it's a personal choice what you carry. And
how about fruit, like apples, nectarines, peaches?
You can do that too, but remember, you're limited to weight. You don't want to carry too much. This bag right here weighs only 10 pounds.
Wow.
That's all it carries.
And this is your search and rescue bag?
No, this is not my search and rescue. This is just a day bag that I recommend the material or the items to be carried. No, my search and rescue bag, which is a 24-hour pack, weighs about 25, 26 pounds.
Oh, it weighs that much?
And that's way too much for the average person to carry around. So I'll go ahead and go through this here and give you some ideas of the different things that we have.
Can I scoot these over here to the side?
Sure.
Also, fruit roll-ups. We have some fruit roll-ups here that they're really good to take with you. And again, plenty of water. We can't emphasize water enough. Wow, that's good-looking pineapple, coconut.
Here's one thing that a lot of people don't think about is a walking stick. Because the ground is uneven, you want to be stable, you won't fall. So you always need to have one of those. It expands. Also, for the people that wear glasses, I carry 2 pairs of glasses, both reading and my distance glasses.
Oh, okay.
Because what happens if you fall and you break your glasses and you're blind as a bat? You're not going to be able to see where you're going.
And a good pair of sunglasses as well. That's absolutely
correct.
Mandatory in Arizona.
I have various first aid stuff.
Let me open up the bag and kind of show everybody what it is.
I got wet wipes to clean up the wound. If you sprain your ankle, I got something for that. This is another gauze bandage, a little first aid kit, some tape.
Wow, you're ready.
And this, and because I have COPD, I do carry my medications with me, but I also have my inhaler with me. Also, it
would be a good idea to carry information with you, like a phone number of your doctor, closest friend, relative, depending on where you're hiking. I know a lot of folks this time of year hike in the Wallapies. Not basically on the desert floor, but they're in the higher elevations, the Wallapies, Williams, Flagstaff, etc. Let people know where you're going. Let people know when you're returning. And also, take this stuff with you. It's really valuable.
Well, another thing too is when you're going out in a vehicle, you shouldn't go out in one vehicle. You should have two vehicles. What happens if your vehicle breaks down? At least the other person can get you back.
Well, what if there's only two people? Take two. Just take
Well,
one.
it depends on the situation and where you're going. If you're just going to go a mile off the road, that's one thing. But if you're going to go 15, 20 miles out in the hills, you really need to have another vehicle.
I see.
This
okay.
here is what everybody needs. A GPS.
A GPS. Oh, good.
Because you can mark your position when you leave, and you do the little breadcrumb thing, so you know exactly how to get back. So if you get lost, you're just going to follow your GPS. In regards to the information, you can always put something on your cell phone saying all that information.
All that emergency numbers and et cetera like that. All right, I've got to take a little break here, so let me take a little break. Again, if you're going hiking or just driving out into the desert, particularly this time of year, okay, plenty of water, sunscreen without question, hats. We didn't talk about hats, but wear a hat. I know a lot of people hate hats, but it really will pay off if you wear a hat. And walking stick, okay? It's also to balance you, but also if you run across a little slithering critter, you can move it on its little way out of your way.
That's right. Make sure that if the snake has a pointed tail, it's a non-poisonous one. If it's got the rattle, it's one little bite you.
Yeah, and so don't mess with it. Just walk around. All right, we're going to take a little break here. We'll be right back after these messages. You're cooking on the Kachina Kitchen. Don't go away. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Kachina Kitchen segment sponsored by the Kingman Daily Miner. That's right, the Kingman Daily Miner. And do you know why? Because they want to save you money. Because they have coupons on demand. That's right, coupons on demand. So give them a call, get the paper, and then you'll get coupons on demand, and it will save you a ton of money. There's a ton of coupons in there, and you always want to save money. So remember, Kingman Daily Miner, coupons on demand. Give them a call today and save yourself some money. All right, I'm back here with Butch Meriwether, who is a journalist,
Correct.
a photojournalist, a Marine Corps veteran, search and rescue guy, and many other things as well, besides my friend.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
Okay, here's
What's the most important thing we need to take?
Well, there's a lot of things really, but you know, a lot of people, it's fashionable for everybody to wear camouflage now. But what happens if you get out there and you're injured and one of the search and rescue members are up there trying to glass the area, they can't see you? Always have a lightweight vest, multicolored,
Oh, yeah.
so they can see you from a distance. And another thing too is you're only planning on being out for a very short period of time, but what happens if you get injured or lost? You're going to need the other things. Example, you need a flashlight. And if it's cold, now remember, it could be hot during the daytime but cold at night.
Cold at night, right.
You need to have a fire source, waterproof matches in a container, a whistle and a compass.
Big deal.
Because if you're injured and they're out searching for you, you got to blow the whistle so they know where you are. A lot of people carry weapons out here. I mean, we're concealed weapons allowed now. But if you don't like a weapon, carry some mace. So if a big animal comes at you, you can spray it and hopefully it'll go away. You may upset it, it may eat you, but
I was going to say.
but there's other things.
Well,
I also carry
if you mace a bear, he may get angry at you.
That's true.
You know?
But I also carry a signal mirror, and the reason it's wrapped up this because I want to protect it so it won't get scratched and stuff. I got all kinds of goodies in here. Another compass. Doesn't hurt to have too many things.
Well, and also mention too, if you bring along a pad and pen or a pencil, you can leave notes, you know, and I know, okay, not those kind of notes, but regular notes to save your life. Okay,
True.
Don't.
Always have a little folding knife. And at nighttime, so that somebody might see you, glow sticks. That's right. And these here are little flares, and also to start a fire.
Oh, cool.
If necessary.
And
we
also,
got all kinds of goodies.
well,
in
search
here.
and rescue. You guys have access to the helicopter, right?
That is correct.
Occasionally, if it's really important.
If necessary.
Okay. So at the flare, if you see the helicopter kind of following around, and they're fairly far away, but close enough to see the flare, crack that flare, and
That's right.
you're going home that night.
Monsoon season,
Poncho.
carry a little poncho.
Man, that's a little one, isn't it?
Well, it actually, all kinds of lighter sources. Here's lighters.
Bic lighters.
Yep.
They're disposable.
And if you can't, well, I'll come to this one in a second. As you said, plenty of water.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I recommend that you carry something other than this bottle type water, because if you fall, you could break your bottles.
I see, okay.
And you're out of water. So I always carry at least 4 bottles of water, and they're double bagged in Ziploc, so if it does break, at least the water will be contained, and you won't be stuck out there in the middle of nowhere without water.
Okay, now, when my friend was broken down in the desert, they had an ice chest. They threw some sodas and beer or whatever they threw in there. And they actually washed themselves off with the ice after it melted, and it refreshed them a little bit, give them some more energy. And the thing that we want to emphasize is you want to protect yourself. That's what this is all about, making you as comfortable and protected as possible while you're out there. And you can't believe how easy it is to get lost out in the desert. I know it's flat, there's no trees, but
Well, I can tell you, one time I was a rescuer, almost became the rescuee, because I did not do a waypoint on my GPS, and I forgot how to get back. So, I mean, it happens to everybody.
It does. It happens to everyone.
If you're diabetic, always carry some hard candy with you.
Oh, that's very good. That's very, very good. Even if you're not diabetic, that candy moistens your mouth and gives you some energy as well, because it's usually pure sugar.
That's right. And another thing, too, is you're carrying flashlights and GPS. You need to carry extra batteries. And I have a 9-volt battery in here, too, which doesn't fit any of my equipment. And I dropped it, so I got to reach down. If you need to start a fire, steel wool, 9-volt battery, it will ignite a fire.
Oh, really?
Yes. And if you scratch yourself, you got wound seal. I mean, I got all kinds of goodies in here. The best thing, one of the best things, though, is maps in the area.
Yeah.
Now, this one here is by the Search and Rescue, and it's of the Wallapais. You can pick them up at various places for $2 donation. And that's what's good about those.
Okay, let's say we're out hiking. I need to do some hypotheticals there. We're out hiking. You and I are out hiking. Okay, we get a little turned around. We're a little lost, okay? And one of us has, or both of us have cell phones, but we don't have any cell phone service. So should we kind of hike up to the highest peak around, and sometimes that's hard to do, and see if we can get service there? Or
you can.
And we need to go together, correct?
Right. And the thing is, you can also, if you get separated at all, and I don't have any with me today because I forgot to bring them, is little personal radios.
Oh, walkie-talkies, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That way you can communicate back and forth.
No, they're very handy too. We use them a lot in show business or entertainment.
A pair of gloves.
A pair of gloves. And they don't have to be new, they just have to be usable.
No, and the inside, if they have leather, is much better because of the stickers and stuff.
Yeah, the stickers, right.
We got more.
Well, and also let's talk a little bit too real quick about footwear. I know this is a cooking show, but all of this is really important, particularly if you're hiking with your snacks. Good hardy hiking boots, good tennis shoes or hiking shoes. Don't go out there in little flip-flops or anything like that, because the desert is not very friendly with flip-flops.
That's right, and in your hiking boots, because they have tall and short ones, it should be high enough to cover your ankles, because if you slip and fall, you could break your ankle.
And a good pair of socks, absorbent socks, okay, because everybody knows your feet and the back of your head or your ears, those are your temperature gauges. So if your feet get hot, then the rest of you is going to get hot as well. So wear good absorbent socks, hiking socks, and also make bandanas. Bandanas are the most important thing. I use a bandana when I'm out, when we're filming on location and stuff. You get it wet or get it cold, put it around your neck, and you can go all day with a bandana.
That's true. And you mentioned hats earlier. Ball caps are nice. They'll protect hair, but not your ears.
Right.
You should have something that covers your ears, too. That way you're not going to burn them.
And remember, it's not a fashion statement out there. You don't have to look pretty. You have to be protected.
Sunscreen.
Sunscreen, right.
Because if you get sunburn, you need kimchi. Also, a little energy drink.
Oh, Red Bull or Red
Well,
Rain?
this was red wine. It doesn't have any sugar in it, so you're not going to get a sugar high and then have to drop down. This is another thing that people don't realize. It's called wet fire. It's a little thing. You spark it, it'll start up. It's magnesium. Boom, you got an instant fire.
Those are really handy. I've used those hunting and things. Very, very handy.
And I mean, that's why I say I carry very. So here's a little starter where you take your thing with your knife and you could spark.
And that's another thing. Butch mentioned a little fold-up knife. If you want to carry a straight knife or a long knife, carry it. Whatever you want to do, do.
And of course, if you want to blow your nose, don't have to use your sleeve.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, when you're out there in the middle and you got the bathroom break, make sure you have a roll of toilet paper. And afterwards,
that's the most important.
That's right. And then hand sanitizer, because you may go to do a bathroom break and then you're going to fix lunch. Well, make sure you're clean.
Very much so. Okay.
And I don't know if I have anything else in here or not.
Also, your backpack. Make sure it's comfortable, okay? Don't just get a backpack because it's cheap or somebody gave it to you. Try it on before you go. Make sure that it's comfortable. All of this stuff that we've got piled up here on the table fits in a backpack. And remember, all of that stuff, you're going to carry your snacks on top of all of this as well, and water. So make sure that backpack fits you comfortably.
And last...
And if you have your wife carry it for you, that even better.
That's true. But if you wear contacts, you should always have eye drops.
Oh, yeah.
For wetting. That's basically all of this together weighs less than 10 pounds.
Wow, that's amazing. And that includes some of the snacks as well.
That's right. Everything that's on the table here weighs about 10 pounds.
Good. Okay, now remember, if you're going to take chocolate bars with you, they don't do real well in the warm weather. They're messy, but they do provide a lot of energy. So you might want to throw them in with me. And then water, you can freeze a couple bottles of water and keep a couple bottles that are non-frozen. And the frozen ones last longer, or the frozen ones you can take with you as well. And take a little sip out of them every now and then. All right, I got to take a break here. We'll be right back after these messages. Don't go away. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back, my guest chef and search and rescue guy, Butch Meriwether, also a photojournalist and a journalist. And remember, I know it's a cooking show, but sometimes you just got to tell the folks what you got to tell the folks.
Oh, that's right, Earl. And the thing is, the main word that you need to think about is being prepared. Because you never know if you're going to break down in your vehicle out in the middle of nowhere. You really need to hike with another person, because if you fall and get injured, they can administer first aid or go for help, especially if you don't have cell phone coverage right where you are.
Right. Okay, and also we want to remind you, everybody, stay with your vehicle. Your vehicle is really important to you. You can rip the mirrors off to use them as a reflecting device. Also, if you have a hose, you can siphon some gas out of the gas tank and burn your spare tire. And remember, spare tires, they just smoke forever, and that's exactly what you want to do, is have that smoke to save your bottom end, okay? Also, I got to thank some folks real quick, Butch. Culligan, the official water of the Kachina Kitchen. Remember, great tasting water all year long, and particularly during the warm weather. Give them a call. They'll deliver to your door, your office, wherever you like to have it delivered. Also, Dan Hill and all the guys out there, True Value Distribution Center, we want to thank them. Butch, well, I hope I never see you in the desert.
Well, I hope not either, but I really appreciate you allowing me to come on today.
Oh, I appreciate you guys.
And explain the things that people need to carry with them and the knowledge that they need to take with them.
And remember, if you have to have search and rescue, dial 911, have someone dial 911, get hold of search and rescue. How many folks are in your unit?
The Kingman unit has about 30. Total in Mojave County is about 100.
About one? Wow, that's a lot of.
But that includes the Arizona Strip, Havasu, Bullhead, and Kingman.
And sometimes they need all 100 of you guys looking for families and whatever. True. Okay, how can they join?
Well, what they can do is
join,
they can call the Sheriff's Department at 753 07. I can't have my reading glasses on.
Wait, we'll just put it down here at the bottom of the screen for you, okay?
Okay, I'll put it right here. How's that? The thing is,
No, at the bottom of the screen.
oh, okay. Well, I didn't know. I'm just trying to be amenable.
Okay.
But the thing is if they are interested in becoming a search and rescue member, they need to contact the Sheriff's Department or go to the Sheriff's Department website, which is on the county's website, and it gives you the prerequisites and stuff like that. You have to go through a 2-day academy. You have to go through a screening process, fingerprinted, and photographed.
Okay, now one thing we did forget to tell you about is binoculars. Okay, in some binoculars you can pull the little eyepiece out. It's a magnifying glass, and that way you can make a fire as well if you need to do it. I'm not suggesting you tear up your binoculars. I'm just saying if you have to, you have to. All right, remember all of these things are important. Whatever you think is important, you take with you. Bandanas, hats, sunglasses, etc. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching the cooking show today, the Kachina Kitchen. Remember, snacks are very important while you're hiking. You need that energy as well. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on the Kachina Kitchen. Go out there and hike safely.